out the fight, yeah, bring on all the lightning. Cause I'm looking for a hero, look inside the mirror, I find one. Oh, carry the hurt when it gets too hard, pick it up, dust it off. When I fall down 11, I get up 12, don't need nobody else. Yeah, I can save myself.
Welcome back, bold listeners. I'm Mackenzie, your host of the Be Bold podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by Cassandra Gormandy, business owner, entrepreneur, and owner of RejuvenateU. So, Cassandra, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to dive in. So, RejuvenateU, it's a wellness space, wellness clinic, correct?
Yep.
Here in London, right? So, you were born and raised in London?
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yep.
So local, we love it.
We love it.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about RejuvenateU, why you got into what you do, and kind of about when in your life you got into what you do.
Absolutely. So I originally started RejuvenateU when I had graduated from beauty school. And as we all know, 2020 was the year of the pandemic. And that was my year of graduating and coming into an industry that completely shut down. So I honestly kind of just had a moment after school where I was like, how do I find my love for the industry and how do I keep it?
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, okay, the entire industry shut down. How do I create something? And for me, like skincare, taking care of myself, like that's how RejuvenateU started. It was just a skincare line. So I really wanted it to be like something that looked good in everyone's bathroom because I felt like self-care was something that is a privilege, but also something that is just basic human care that we all really deserve and feel to seeing like clean, taking care of ourselves, and just having products that look good in everyone's bathroom. And honestly, like when I would stroll through Sephora, I would see a lot of products geared towards one demographic of buyer. And I felt like that was something in the industry that made it less inclusive in a way for everyone.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to be that kind of sweet spot in a way to like make everyone feel like they could have a product to use and feel safe using.
Which like is kind of a crazy concept if you like reverse that a little bit, because you found your niche, which actually was not a niche. It was almost like I'm entering a market that is so niche down and it's not inclusive at all.
Exactly.
But I'm going to find my niche, which is like being inclusive. Like
Exactly.
a little bit backwards, right?
Yeah, 100%. And like, I feel like it was more so not even like, I didn't even have the goal of like wanting to like make an empire, build a business. I was just like, I just got to keep myself like educated and into this industry, honestly, so I don't lose it. You know what I mean? Because the pandemic, it shut us down for about 2 years. And then after 2 years, I started working in the industry and then started working on my service sides of everything. Yeah.
So service side kind of started after when the restrictions were lifted and you could get back to the connection with people, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So even that is also a little bit backwards. I'm just sorry, I'm pulling out all the backwards in your business, but backwards is good, right? It's different, and that's why you're successful.
You pivot. And like honestly, like I think that's one thing I learned really early on in my career, and just as a businesswoman, I think adaptability, pivoting, and also just like recognizing when is the right time to do that is the most important thing early on in your career too, especially.
Absolutely. So I want to kind of dive into that concept about being able to pivot and change, right? Because change is a scary thing for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Honestly, most people.
Absolutely.
I don't think anybody's like, I absolutely love change. Like some of us embrace it a lot more and have learned to love it, but it's scary. It is a scary concept. And in business and entrepreneurship, life really, but especially in business and entrepreneurship, we have to change and we have to pivot. So sounds like you've pivoted from something that was like not with human connection and contact. It was more like door-to-door retail sale,
online,
right?
Yeah,
online
absolutely.
Product.
Online, and then I was doing in-person markets and just pushing sales, right? And like then when I got to the in-person side, you're right, it's a switch, right? And you have to relearn in a way to how to deal with people too, with like coming out of the pandemic, right? And the type of self-care that I was performing was waxing. So it's not the most relaxing. It's not your classic facial or like getting your nails done, but I found a lot of healing for myself through performing services for my clients and also hearing them invoke their own insecurities and be like, girl, same, honestly. And like, and then looking at them and being like, that's not actually a big deal. You know what I mean? It makes us all human. And like, here's how to really cater to this kind of skin condition. And here's how I healed it for myself because girl, I had the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's another thing. It's just like what I learned through connecting with my clients is honestly just being relatable and being like, girl, I went through it too. Like, I feel like there's so much perfectionism in this industry, or a pressure to be perfect, I should say, that honestly just kind of being like, girl, I was there too.
Yeah.
This is how I healed myself, and this is how we'll heal you, is so beautiful.
And so that brings up the concept of like confidence for me with all of what goes on in the beauty industry, and confidence being a business owner too, like different versions. It's confidence nonetheless.
Yeah.
But do you feel that like owning a business, because you can't hide, it brings out all your personal growth, everything, right? Yeah. Do you feel that it like elevated your, like it made you more confident, and it was kind of the way to get you out of your own shell, or were you always kind of a confident person? And
I honestly, like, I would say I've always been a funny person for sure, and charismatic for sure. But I would say, honestly, owning a business caused me a lot of insecurity.
Yeah.
It caused me to really look inward and be like almost imposter syndrome.
Absolutely.
I feel like you deal with on the regular.
Absolutely.
And like, just like, honestly, I think it's also just a part of like womanhood, growing up and finding out what woman you want to be in this world, and gaining confidence through becoming her. You know what I mean? Like, I've always had this like version of myself in my head that I'm like, you're gonna be her one day. And it's like a beautiful progression to see that as like a slow growth, not a rushed growth. I think like every person is like a flower in a way, and I think when you just let yourself bloom organically, especially and through those hardships, like I've had those nights where like I've cried in my office, or I've looked at myself covered in zits and been like, no one's gonna believe me, or like, you know what I mean? And I think like those hard times do build your confidence back in a way, because you have to go down to the bottom to get back up to the top, you know what I mean? And just be like, in a way, delusional.
Yeah. We're all a little bit crazy. We've said that like every episode that comes up some way, somehow, with somebody, it's like entrepreneurship, everybody's a little bit, and like I use the term crazy lightly, and I say that like it's not a light term, but I use it fun, in fun spirit of saying like we're all a little bit nuts. Like we're all a little bit
all
like,
have to be doing what we're doing, and to have this like, in a way, like you're talking about unspoken confidence, because like, when I'm out and I'm networking, or when I'm with a client, I'm that professional. I have to step into that. Oh, it's almost like a role in a way, you know what I mean? So when I come out of that and I just am Cassandra again, and I sit with myself, I'm like, girl, you're just 26.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm still like so scared. I'm figuring it out.
Gotta go fold my laundry. Like,
yeah,
you know
literally,
what I mean?
literally.
Like, and it's like those growing pains in your 20s too, that I just give myself grace now. I really, like, when I started my entrepreneurship journey, and something I recommend to everyone is get a therapist. Get a therapist, because it's just like really important to also have an unbiased opinion. I feel like as entrepreneurs, we do really have support systems, and like really establish our support systems through family, friends, colleagues, like clients, honestly, even too, that you just really have to like have that grounding, that anchor for yourself, or you're not going to like really believe yourself in a way. Like with therapy, it's just like, I talked to Hannah and she's like, girl, you're good. I'm like, all right,
I
if
love
you
that
say so.
Like Hannah is her name. She has a name. It's Hannah.
It's Hannah.
But it's,
and
you
she's
can
that
tell.
girl.
You can tell, exactly. It's a part of your life, and you've leaned on that, and you found what works for you for that outlet. And it's an outlet not just for business owners, but for anybody who's really looking to start. And so, and I think the cool part about therapy is, like you said, it's the unbiased perspective, and it's somebody that like literally just sees is rooting for you too, and can give you sometimes the confidence that you're not seeing in yourself.
Like, you're not crazy, girl.
I'm
like, thank you.
And they do what you do in your brand though, and in your business is make people feel good and make people like see the good in themselves, and also add the humility and the connection to it. Like, we've been there, I've been there, I've had the breakout, I've had the whatever. Like it doesn't make it.
No, it's not the end all be all. And like, I think in general, my favorite version of beauty is imperfect beauty. I think there's so many beautiful things and imperfections or uniqueness. Even just like, I love a wispy brow moment, because I just think those are so high fashion, editorial, and chic, honestly. And those things make us us. That's the other thing I think is a beautiful thing. If we were all walking around with the same Instagram filter face, it wouldn't really be a fun world to live in. Like, you know,
filter face. I love it. And I'm all the like I see the perspectives on both too. I'm like, if you want to do the filter because it makes you feel good, then do that too, 100%. Right? Like, filter it if you feel more confident to post. Don't filter it if you don't want to. Like, raw beauty is beauty, absolutely. And we're trying to encourage that. But I also am the same, like in the beauty industry, you want to get your lashes done because it makes you feel better, do it. You want to get your hair done because it makes you feel better, you do it, right?
And I think sorry.
No, absolutely. I'm just going, I know you I'm sure I'm like excited. You've got your opinion about it. Yeah, absolutely. Because and that's the way it should. And it's because we're told often that like those services businesses are because we don't have the confidence and we feel we need to go alter ourselves to gain the confidence.
Yes.
But it's not like that for everybody, right? And
No.
who am I to tell anybody what their version of confident is?
And I think that's what makes a good provider, is really understanding that exact concept for your clients, is that everyone's perception of beauty is different.
Yeah.
And that's also just like really cool that we all really have our own version of what, like I talked about, that girl that we want to be in our head, honestly. And I think good providers really work with their clients, and also will have moments where you can tell your client, hey, this might be a little too far, or hey, this is gonna eat down, girl. This is gonna eat down.
Eat down.
Yeah, like especially with like for like basics, like a brow enhancement. Let's say, like if I have someone who I've been waxing and tinting for years, and then they come to me and they're like, Cass, like I want a brow lamination, and I look at their brows and I see, yeah, that would be the perfect shape and the perfect little enhancement to be like you, but like you, but better.
Yeah.
I still want my clients to look like them. I really work with natural beauty a lot, but do I love editorial? Do I love high fashion? Do I love full glam? Absolutely. And those girls slay the day.
Yeah.
Like, truly, they really do. But I love that as a provider, I get to work with so many people and really depict what your version of that is for yourself. Honestly, I think that's a gift.
Yeah,
truly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And like learning your clientele too. I'm sure that you have return clientele now, and I know that you do a good service and you're kind, and you service it well, they'll come back. So I think it's also building the relationship, knowing what they like too, and being able to kind of help them get to where they want to be too with their service, because it is a return service often, like brows, waxing, and all that.
Especially with waxing, it's like nails, like it's like pretty repetitory. And what I find with my clients too, honestly, is like introducing them new services is really fun too, enhancing a self-care day. And honestly, like I think a self-care day for me, and like how I've built my business, I give every single client that walks through that door the experience I want. And I think that's the key to building a real, authentic, quality, service-based business, is to just really love what you do. And like, to be honest with you, sometimes I'll be charging my client. I'm just like, oh, we just had such a good time. I don't even want to charge. You know what I mean?
You almost feel,
because it doesn't feel like work.
Yes, and that's a big one with business owners too.
Yeah.
And often we sell ourselves short too, because if you're in a good business that's gonna stand the test of time, it's usually something that you're really passionate and good about, like good at, right? So like a therapist, I'm sure all their friends are calling, not on the clock, but because they're really good at giving advice, right? Like I'll have people just say, "Can you look this over?" But I love doing it, and then you're like, "God, I should have charged for that," but I'm not going to, because you're my friend and I love what I do. But I think that's it. Just dinged on me that like that's how I know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing too, because it feels like a fulfilled day for you, and like you're doing something you love.
Your posts too, and like your journey and like progression. Like I think it's also just like so fun to like I don't know if we know, me and Mackenzie went to high school together.
I was waiting to segue to that, which do you know what? I wanted to just give your business the recognition it deserves before we got into the personal connection, but and talk about your business and how you got started. Of course, that's really why we're but we are connected, and it's cool. We met in high school, so
and to see each other like grow up into like little businesswoman now, like crazy.
I have a question for you. Like, do you think that there was like a common theme between it? Because we're very different. We are very different, but obviously there's some similarities and crossovers in terms of our outgoingness and those things, I would say. But do you think that you could have in high school like known that the other one was going to start a business?
In a way, I felt like, knowing both of us, I feel like we both have very fiery, charismatic personalities. And like, I remember, I feel like we took business together.
Maybe.
Honestly, like I feel like we were in like Desjardins business class.
Okay,
or something. But I always felt like you had drive, and I feel like you need that to be in any kind of form of business. And like for myself, even like I was just working every day after high school. Like, I don't know if you know, but like I've been working since I was 16, pretty much full time. So every day after high school, I was at the dealerships, and I learned business. I learned sales. I learned walking a person. Like I used to do reception. So I would watch the salesmen walk their clients through a sale. And like, I just grew a fascination through business in that kind of work like place. And then when I came out and I was going to go into the car industry, and I was picking all my college courses, and it was all business, and then beauty was like my filler, because like I just needed an extra course. I was like, screw it.
It almost I'm
just going to do it. And I remember hearing, because I was still at the dealerships, hearing from business managers saying, oh, you're not going to make any money in that. You're not going to be successful. And I just had in my head that my drive is going to carry me through. And I think that's for both of us, to be honest with you. I think like it's another empowering thing to see in the industry too, is just be like, wow, there's another driven woman that's really busting it to make it happen for herself. No one's doing it but her. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, the thing that people don't also know all the time is the behind the scenes, that it's literally a one-woman show.
Yep.
And that's hard.
Yeah. It's absolutely hard. And like, there's a part of us that puts it out there like it's not a one-woman show. And I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm growing a team, and there's a few more people that now that like help and are huge parts of it. They're sitting in the studio today, so shout out. But it is like I lean on those people, and it's very important for them to get the recognition. I couldn't do what I do now, but I did start it as a one-man show, and often still the tough decisions are still mine. Like, you know, and it is still my business and my name at the end of the day. And it's important that people recognize that. Like, it's not all the glamour, and it's not all of it, especially being beauty industry, social media, right? These are industries that we do put our best versions of ourselves on the internet, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not going to post a photo that I know I look awful in.
Exactly.
I'm going to try to post the one I look better in, but also there are times where I'm like, well, here's the awful one because I want to be authentic and show the raw side. So it's important to know the position we hold and make sure that, you know, we are showing the reality of things too.
Absolutely.
But obviously we're also still trying to grow businesses, and it's a fine line we're walking of, you know, showing behind the scenes, not all of it, and still remaining professional.
Absolutely.
But we both started our business in our 20s. We're both still in our 20s. So I wanted to kind of touch on that, and just in terms of maybe go a little bit more personal with this, and just like how your life has changed owning a business in your 20s and how you navigate it. So we can talk like, have your friends stayed the same? Have they changed?
Good question. That's a great question. I feel like with friends, in my early 20s, I think I was like, when I was building RejuvenateU, I was going through an active healing journey just personally. So I think I was just in a space in my 20s where I was trying to figure out who my people are. And there was some that stayed, there was some that fell off. But harbor no animosity or anything towards those people. I think that's just being in your 20s, genuinely, like seeing who is your circle. And I think that's a really important thing to establish. Another thing I really established with a lot of my friendships from the get-go is just letting them know, hey girl, I'm not going to be available all the time. I'm that for my clients, and I'm building a business. And I think like I love to surround myself with people with the same kind of drive that I have, because then it doesn't feel like a disservice to our friendship, or that I'm not showing up to things, or that I'm missing out in my 20s. If you know what I mean, that kind of pressure. I'm like, you know what, girls, and boys, I don't want to go to the drinks tonight. I got work tomorrow. I got a full day of clients. And I think what I've learned too through friendships and what I've explained through them is they come with sacrifice. And that's what my friends really have to understand with me building my business, is that I sacrifice a lot for it. And that's not to be mean. That's not to say I don't like you. It's just my life, you know, and the people that really love me and support me have really rode down for me with that. Like I've had no issues in regards to like my core friends. And I really think it's important to establish that from the get-go with friendships too, that like, hey, this isn't going to be like us going out to coffee every week. This might be us going out to coffee every 2 months and then picking up where we left off.
And do you feel that your close circle like respects and understands the hustle of it, or have they more been like that it must be nice kind of because you're drifting? So you've stayed close.
I stay really close, and like I feel like throughout my life, I've always just been a very individual, friendship based kind of person. I don't really go in groups. I'm more individual based. So the one-on-one for me, I can gain understanding. I can really explain myself and just really show, hey girl, this is where I'm at. You know what I mean? And then I think those kind of conversations are so like beautiful and organic and empowering to be like, you know what, I get it, but you got this. And that's where like those are the friends that I surround myself with.
I love that. And it sounds like they're cheerleaders for what you're doing and they get it.
And I am for them. Like we're all in also different industries, but like with a lot of my girlfriends, I have to say they're driven just as much as I am, and their drive motivates me and fills my cup. Like whenever I leave a friend to hang out, whatever, my cup's full. It's never empty.
As it should. As it should. And because we have so many things that we have to cater to and do, and a lot of the stuff is stuff we don't want to do, the accounting, all that like behind the scenes stuff, right? So by the time I do want to go hang out with a friend, I want it to fill my cup, because what the heck else are we doing here, right? And it should be like that with friends, family, coming into your 20s, 30s, and especially when you own a business or when you're just career driven. Like you don't want to have to then tend to something, right? And I think that relationships take work. Don't get me wrong. Relationships and friendships take work. We know that, but also it should be worth it. And like, it's you see where I'm going with this? Like we want it to be, when you're down, I can help you. When I'm down, you can help me. And it's that kind of work, but it should also be something that fills your cup and isn't draining.
And that's real friendship. Like I really think that's like real sisterhood, real friendship, and like multiple gender friendships, obviously, but like just down to like my girls and me, that's true sisterhood.
I love
feel.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it sounds like that also is why you're good at what you're doing with your business too, because you mentioned even your friendships feel one-on-one and you understand it. So I would imagine as a service provider, like, touche, you've got it figured out there because you're relating to them like a friend. And even us chatting, right? If you can build that friendship connection, it's so much more organic and it's...
Well, and like through the service that I specifically provide, I feel is so... like Brazilians, for example, it's the most vulnerable service that's out there.
I would like to say, I'll expose myself. Like, Cass has absolutely given me a Brazilian, and I remember walking in being like, "Oh my god, I didn't know."
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, I
We were
remember
like-
too. So the backstory here is, you were working at a salon, like separate. It wasn't your business. You weren't out on your own quite yet.
No.
So I didn't know who I was booking. I think it just said Cass, right? And so I walk in and I'm like, "Oh my god, you got to be kidding me! I'm about to get a Brazilian from a girl I went to high school with," and we drifted a bit, right? Like we didn't stay friends throughout, like college and university era, but we've kind of come back with the entrepreneurship and whatnot that we're doing now. But yeah,
you get in the room and you're like, "Hey, so,"
and it's like, I've got this. I'm not gonna walk away now. We're already here. I have a vacation. It's happening. We're doing it.
But for me and my job is to take away that anxiety.
And you did a great job. You did.
you.
I can
Thank
attest.
you.
And that was
Thank
well
you.
before you were even your own business and your own brand. So I can only imagine that you really cater to that now.
Truly.
And
I like take pride in being people's safe space.
Yeah.
And I really take gratitude in the trust that my clients give me. I think it's a gift. And I really think that like through especially different skin conditions, ingrowns, HP, like all these different kinds of things, I've really helped people regain their confidence back in themselves in such an intimate area that I think that is just life-changing.
Yeah.
Truly. When you feel like you're like after a Brazilian,
yeah,
I'm that girl.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
I can
Like,
fly.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Literally, slippery.
It's one of those services that I've learned because a lot of the times when you're taught through aesthetics, you're taught to be this like perfect person in a way, this calm, this like perfect, educated esthetician. I really didn't feel like that aligned with my charisma and my love for what I do. And I also just thought, like, to be honest, like we said, you have to take the weirdness out of the room in a way. You know what I mean? And the only way to do that is just be like, "So girl, like, what's been going on?" Like, you know, and just kind of bring it back to like, getting to know each other.
And would you say though that sometimes has it ever been perceived on your end as like overly confident or cocky? But we know, like I know that when you walk into a room and you have to claim it because you're taking the awkward out, like it's awkward for me too.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not that like I was born this confident human being. We now know that like to make you comfortable, I sometimes have to make myself a little uncomfortable and like claim the energy a little bit so that you then feel comfortable, right? But I know that it can also be perceived as, you know, oh, she's full of herself. Have you had any of that being a business owner? And
I feel like I really try to stay humble as a business owner, and I honestly don't really like to just talk my talk. I like to show my work.
Yeah, I
think that's the difference. I really
What's
think
our little Jen?
I think that's the difference, honestly, with unspoken confidence, and I think that's where it can come off as just like, damn, like she's really doing that, and that's impressive. I want to be impressive. I don't want to be cocky or throwing things in anyone's face. Not that I have that to even do, to be honest with you. And I think those are some of the best owners that I've even networked with in the city and in the beauty industry specifically, are those girls that gave me the advice to just keep your head down, do your work, let it show for you, and be a nice girl in the industry.
Yeah. And especially if you have the hard drive prior, like you've worked jobs before you started your business, like you mentioned at working at the dealership and stuff, like you understand hustle, sales, keeping your head down because you've worked either like a corporate, like for me, it was real estate, working at a real estate brokerage, and my gosh, like you're a small fish, right? Yeah. So you learn that too. And if you can bring that into your business, it's, you know, you know hard work, you know what a hard day's worth. Not that a business isn't that, it's just that magnified almost.
100%.
But I think it helps, just like hard work gets you through, right?
I think so too. And like seeing the vision, I think for me, I'm a very visionary person, and I think like when I can really cultivate it and just kind of put myself and then make it happen, I can rest my head at night.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like I'm restless until my vision is met, and I think that's a gift for me, to be honest with you, as a business owner, because I feel like a lot of people don't have that kind of outlook on things.
I think that's a commonality between business owners or just like successful people is exactly that, like the concept of they just started and you perfect along the way. You don't wait for it to be perfect, right? And we, I think, are similar in that aspect of 100%. Our businesses of like, I launched my business in an airport. Not a lot of people know that.
Oh my God, I
literally
love
was like, I'm just
that.
going to do this. And I texted friends and family and everybody. I was like, go follow. I had like 70 followers on our social for the longest time. And I remember imposter syndrome being like, oh my, this is so embarrassing. I'm a social media company. Nobody's following me. Like same thing, right? I'm beauty, but now I have this beauty insecurity.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, you feel the imposter syndrome, but I think the concept is do it and refine it as you go. And if you're scared to start, you never start.
Exactly. And I love how you say refine it as you go, because I think that's practice makes perfect. And I think especially because we were both in competitive sports growing up, that you really realize that early on, that you're just like, you know what, if you can come to the exception that you're not going to be the best at everything, especially when you first start it and you just chip away at it and you master your craft, I think there's such beauty and like strength in that, truly.
Absolutely. And it's learning like the life lesson in it, right? And if you can take the life lesson of like, you know what, I've had a worse day and I've gotten back up, you can kind of pull that into your business as it evolves. Like, okay, I remember that time that I was crying on the floor and was like, I gotta close the doors, this isn't happening. Like, we've had it, right? And then, but you know that you got back up. It builds confidence because you can look back and think, well, that wasn't my worst day, but at the time I thought it was, so probably today
and like
it
stamina
isn't.
in a way too.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
like I felt like you were gonna say it, and I was like, yep, stamina, because like truly it is. And like then when something else comes your way, when you conquered something 10 times harder, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
You know, like
bring it on.
I don't know if I mentioned this in my like synopsis, but the first location I actually lost.
Oh no.
Yeah, like so basically in that building they were doing renovations. It caused me to have to move into another space in the building, and then I was just not happy with where I was at, and I told myself, I said, okay, pivot,
sacrifice, big word.
Research and development, and get it done. That's it. That's all you have to do. And I put my head down for 2 months, toured lots of different offices in London, and found my perfect spot, honestly, now. And like when I gave my clients that notice that, hey, this is the new location, it grew. It grew the business. And I think that's the other thing with like scary decisions in business. And like you were saying, when unexpected things happen and you conquer them and you gain the confidence, other things have happened in the business now. I'm like, that is nothing compared to what I had to conquer before.
And it's like finding like you're allowed to be bummed out about that.
Yes.
You're allowed to have a bad day. You're allowed to be like, okay, this was my dream spot and grieve that a little bit. But then it's about getting back up on the horse and whatever. And then realizing that like it maybe wasn't aligned. Maybe now wasn't the time. And if you can find that silver lining of like, but you know, the spot that I have now, like I actually like it better sometimes. And finding like so hard, easier said than done to have that mentality. Because at the time it's like, oh, this is a loss.
Oh my God. And it's like your baby growing pains in a way too, as a business owner. You're like, oh my God, did I just mess it all up?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. No. You just grew. And that's so beautiful that you got through that, honestly.
It is really cool. Yeah. Do you feel that like all these like lessons that you've learned in your business life, right? Like we're talking, and they are lessons in life, but do you feel it's made you like a better person to owning your business? Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really feel like, through the virtues and life lessons that I've learned through building a business, it's really made me be gentler with myself, lower my expectations on myself, and that also went towards other people in my life too. And I think that was a really big learning lesson for me, especially that first year. Like we're talking, like I remember crying on the floor, going in my mom's office being like, I need a minute, like, every week, every day,
just hold me.
literally, how do I do it? But like, I don't know, like I look back at that version of myself too, and I love her still. And I think like as I grow into the woman that I'm becoming, I really like the person that I'm becoming. And I've really got that feedback too from other people, because I feel like I just didn't also have that kind of confidence within myself. I didn't know who I wanted to be in this world. And I think that can cause like confusion and sadness in a way for yourself that could come out sometimes. But I feel like for me, especially when I came back home and went through my healing journey, I've made it a mission to be a better version of myself. And I really think I am.
I love that. And that's like one of my whys and why I do it is it forces me to grow personally. Like I couldn't have picked like an actual 9-to-5 job or that would have made me reflect as much as I've had to reflect, good and bad, good, bad and ugly, right? Like you have to look in the mirror every day.
Absolutely.
And it takes a toll. Like it sounds like you're very close with your mom and you have that relationship to lean on. I am as well. My mom is kind of my sounding board often.
I met her when we came in. I was like, this is my momager. She's like, oh, Mackenzie's. I was like, oh my God.
I love it. So,
so good.
It's awesome to have those people. And I think that, like your personal relationships, good and bad, right? It makes you grow. And the ones that are there to stay stand the test of time do, and they solidify like a rock. And then there's the ones that it does shine the light on. And often that for us, 20 years old as a woman, it's dating. And I know we were going to go there a little bit with the dating, and it's challenging because like, have you had experienced those challenges where like, because you're a powerhouse, like you are a powerhouse, right? You're right. And we talk a lot about making other people feel like that girl, but like you're becoming that girl. And have you had any,
I think
what's dating like for you?
I think like for me, like non-existent, not like non-existent, but not a priority in a way. Like I really think like for me right now in my life, I'm becoming the person that I need to be for that other person in a way. But I don't know, for me and my experience with dating, I feel like I deal with a lot of phonies, honestly. Like people really want to try to handle it, and then they realize it's a lot,
and it's allowed to be a lot,
but it's not even a lot that like you provide. I think it's just being that girl. Like we're talking about that. It's just like, oh my God, like that's a lot of pressure to be with someone like her. And I think that's what I deal with, honestly. And then
by phony, do you feel like people are drawn to it, and then they're drawn to the idea of you, but then they get to know you and all the hustle and the hard work and the crying on the floor, and then they're like,
not even the crying on the floor, the fact that I'm not going to be answering your text. I have work to do. Like literally, like for me, because I do respect my relationships, and like I respect people that I've been in relationships with, but for me, if you can't understand that I'm not going to be around all day, and if you need me all day, I don't need you all day, because like that's just also not healthy for me. I think that's very codependent. And for me, I think when someone adds to your life and you guys can come together as individuals, that's the most powerful and beautiful thing, truly. And like also going through your own career journeys and like really becoming those people, and then really having that confidence. And then I feel like those relationships are more successful than others than I've experienced in my past too, you know?
Yeah. And it's important. And like, it's not all about, you know, the relationships and the friendships. It's business is lifestyle. Like it's all about all of it. You can't really do one without the other successfully, because we live and breathe our work, but we also like live and breathe our lives. And, you know, sometimes it's just turning one off to turn the other on, and then getting back on to, you know, like it.
And even like a hyper independence, I feel like has invoked through this, because I remember even when I lost my salon last year, I just took a video of myself on my close friends moving my stuff, and a guy I was talking to at that time messaged me. He was like, why didn't you message me? Like I would have helped you move everything. And I was like,
got it.
No, the way I never even thought about you. Like literally what? Like I was shocked, but I also felt like I noticed in myself where I was like, oh, that's really hyper independent.
100%. And it's fantastic. And it's part of my identity too. And we're proud of that. But there is a time also to let someone in and let 100%. Your guard down. And I do find when you meet the right person, it's a hell of a lot easier. Yes. I think if you're with the wrong person, your hyper independence kicks in.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we put the bread on the table. We do the things and we can do it on our own. And when you find the right person, you're willing to let your guard down again. 100%. And it might just not be our time yet, because we're still building us. Exactly. And that's cool.
And I think an ego is a really big thing that I look at too, is like, is your ego in check? Because it needs to be with a powerful woman.
Yeah.
As you know, like it's just.
That's like dating question number one. How's your ego? And if they like clench at the word ego, I'm not it.
You're like, you're done.
Yeah. I love it. And I love that we can have this conversation. I think we could sit here and chat all day long, like all week long. But I'm so inspired by you. Like I'm glad that like we connected when we were young, but to be able to reconnect and see this full circle. And like I am such a big supporter of you. And it's been cool to see both of us kind of grow in our own ways. But what you're doing with the beauty line and the wellness and everything is incredible to make people feel confident in their own skin.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for being here. I'm so happy. Yes, absolutely.
So proud of you, Queen, truly. Like,
thank
this
you.
Is absolutely amazing.
Thank you. I do want to just leave it off with like, if you were to give your younger self a piece of advice, or somebody who's listening who doesn't really know what they want to do just yet, what would that like little golden nugget be?
Especially for the beauty industry, I tell every girl, build your own profile, show your work, keep your head down, and be a nice girl.
I love that.
And stay driven. Love what you do. If you don't, just go find something else, because you really have to wake up every day and love what you do to be passionate and be successful.
It seems so simple, but it's such the foundation.
It is. Yeah. It's truly the foundation blocks, 100%.
I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that. That is a great piece of advice. Yes, absolutely. So thank you everybody for listening. Cassandra Gormandy, and stay tuned for our next episode.